Hello, this is Dr. Darnise. Welcome into another installment of Dr. Darnise's House of Religion, Magic, and Conjure. Well, I've invited you into my book room here. It's a little messy. I'm always going to have a lot of books, and believe me, this isn't even all of them. But anyway, today's video is further down the rabbit hole of our Spiritual Truth series. And so what I want to talk to you about are our first principles. So I'll be giving you three first principles. And so hang in with me as I go through them. I won't keep you too long. So first things first, in terms of spirituality, esoterics, and metaphysics. What is the ground of our understanding in terms of what metaphysics is? A metaphysical kind of worldview or cosmology, and that is the principle of oneness. All is one. Now, maybe you've heard that before. I, alluded to it in my last video. Maybe you've heard that, and you're like, well, what does that mean exactly, all is one? It means that all is made of the same energetic substance. There really is no solid matter. Everything is energy. Quantum physics can confirm this. If you need a scientific validation, quantum physics can and does affirm that really when you look under high-powered microscopes at the nature of things, it's all of the same substance. So I always like to take my students to Genesis 1:1 when it tells us that God created the heavens and the earth. And so what I was asked them, and so I'll ask you here too, what did God create out of? If we want to go to a biblical text, or if we have an understanding of God as creator, what is the stuff that God made everything out of? Put your thoughts in the comments. Well, I always say it's God stuff, because we're not told that there's any other stuff. In the beginning, there's just God, right? And so in the beginning, God creates the heavens and the earth out of God's own being. So everything that we can see in form all over, all around us, is energy is energy that has taken form. It is God stuff that has taken form. So we are all infinitely God stuff. We are energy in motion. There is no solid matter, regardless of what it looks like. We always say in New Thought that God is all there is, regardless of appearances. Everything just takes on form. Here in our physical earth plane, we play with form. Think of it like Jell-O, right? When you mix together the packet, the powder, the liquid, you put it in a bowl, it's going to take the form of whatever container you put it in. A bowl, a glass, it doesn't matter, right? You want to make something in the form of a mermaid, you want to make it in the form of a puppy, whatever you want your Jell-O salad to be made out of, you pour it into that container and it will take on that form. The same with us, the same with all of the so-called physical world. It is God's stuff in a particular container. So we are all made up of God stuff. Now, scientists, of course, won't say God stuff. They might say we're made up of stardust. Turns out that we are the same as stardust. Who knew, right? I'll tell you who knew. The mystics have known. And so secondly, what goes along with that is the understanding that all is consciousness. So because there is no physical form, there really is no solid matter, all is really the consciousness of the Creator. All is happening within the consciousness of the Creator. We are living lives within the consciousness of the Creator. The Creator is expressing in and as us. The Creator is expressing as us. We are having an experience of the divine consciousness, right? So this is the metaphysical first principles I'm giving you, so that you understand, so when I start teaching later on about, you have the power to create your circumstances, and this is how manifestation works. This is the ground of that. So you understand, okay, well, coming from this perspective that says that all is one, all is consciousness, all is energy. These are just different words that we can use to talk about the same thing, to try to get at the same thing, right? What is it? What is consciousness? What is energy? What is vibration? And this is what metaphysics is concerned with, trying to answer the questions of ultimate reality, trying to understand what is, who are we? What is the world made of? And what's the purpose of it all? And so as metaphysicians, we try to answer those questions by saying, well, really, all is consciousness. You have to get beyond the physical, which is what the word metaphysical means. You have to get beyond the idea that the only thing that exists is the physical form that you can see. Because that definitely is not it. That is just the outward manifested experience of the divine consciousness. Okay, so I gave you two there. All is one, all is consciousness, and there is no solid matter. I gave you that also. And so we have the ability to use the fluid nature of reality to create our lives the way we want them to be. So, people talk about manifesting all the time, or we talk about the law of attraction. Well, how does that work? It works because, right now I'm reminded of Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman, who says it works if you work it. Well, it works if you work it because you have an understanding of what it is, which is what I'm trying to give you today. What is it? What is the metaphysical it? And that is that all is flexible, pliable, all is responsive to our thought. So we go back to Genesis 1:1. God spoke things into existence. There was an energetic force that came out from God, which we also have to speak things into existence, right? The scripture also tells us that the power of life and death is in our tongue. And also, it is done unto us as we believe. There's all these metaphysical, esoteric kind of teachings right there within the Judeo-Christian Bible. Right there for us to grasp and fully understand and embody. Jesus the Christ was really talking to us about how to use it. Again, what is it? How to be at one, be in alignment with the creator or the creative energy and use it so that, for example, he could heal people. He could change water into wine. Those are demonstrations of how to use it. So for us, in our lives, we can say, oh, okay, well, I get to co-create my own reality because I understand that the universe is not physical, really. I can use energy to create things so that I experience them in the physical. I'm just having a physical experience, but the nature of things is really energetic and it is fluid. So that when I focus on something mentally, if you want to use some magic to go along with your intention, then you really reinforce what you're trying to manifest. So what is something that you want to manifest? I'll ask you that too. You might want to write in the comments. What is something that you want to manifest? And as you think about that thing or have been thinking about that thing, also monitor the sabotaging ideas that come attached to it. Because that means it can't manifest because you've got conflicting ideas now. You've got conflicting energies. Because really, we have the power to create, right? God said, let there be light. And so we tend to think, well, I'm not God. Well, we are God in microcosm. And so we have the ability to also create for ourselves that way also. But what typically happens with us as we try to co-create is that we sabotage ourselves with a conflicting thought. So then you have energy working against itself. And, a house divided against itself cannot stand. So I'm inviting you to think about for yourself, What is it that you'd like to manifest, or what is it that you've always thought that you wanted? And then observe the thought that comes in with that. Is it something like, I don't have money to do that, I don't have enough education to do that, who will listen to me? Any number of things. I don't want to put myself out there and be disappointed. I don't want people to judge me, to criticize me, all kinds of things. We've all got a negative tape playing in there somewhere along the line, if it was from our family, our parents, friends, the society in general that tells you you can't do something. And so we end up shutting ourselves down, but really we have the power to create. And so I'm going to leave it there with those first principles. This is the basic level of metaphysics so that you understand something about the nature of reality and how you can step into using it, better understanding how it works so that you can use it, so that it can work when you work it. Okay, so that's all for now. Please like, share, subscribe. Leave me comments, hit the like button. YouTube likes that, and so do I. So that's all for now.